What's up, everybody? Thought I'd do a little bit of a hobby update, and that involves actually having painted a model for the first time in a while. Actually, started working on this guy before I had to move apartments due to the whole fire incident and all that happened at the building that I was in. So I really just had him sitting around trying to get the drive back to painting again after the big move that happened abruptly. But anyways, I've finally got him finished, and I have to say I'm really pleased with the result. The red isn't. I like the way the red looks. It could be a little bit more vibrant or bold, I guess. But the varnish I was using, which is a Vallejo matte varnish, which typically is pretty good, I was using it and I was wondering why it felt a little off. And after I was done with the model, I took a look at it and I realized, hey, this looks kind of bad. It's kind of yellow as opposed to being white like typically the matte varnish from Vallejo is. It got a yellow tinge to it, like I guess the resin or whatever is in the matte varnish, I forget, was turning or whatever. So it could be a little bit more bolder red if it wasn't for the varnish. But I picked up a anti-shine from Army Painter. My buddy Matt was telling me that it's really good for doing a matte varnish, so I'm going to try that out on the next model I do. Anyways, what I did here was base colored him in gold, Vallejo's liquid gold, which is the gold you see on the model. I did that for the entire model, shaded it with like a brown wash. I think I used Agrax or a shade, and then I dry brushed with liquid gold as best I could. And I say as best I could because it is a alcohol based paint, dries kind of quickish. Dry brushing with it is doable, it's possible, it's just not normal, I guess. Anyways, that's what I did, and then I hit it with Tamiya Clear Red, a couple of coats to get it nice and vibrant red as you're seeing. And then you get all the shading and all the highlighting from the gold and from the wash on the gold and so forth. This kind of falls into play. And really pleased with the effect. It's not quite the disc ruby you see from Forge World, but it's the effect I was going for, and I'm digging it. Use the decal sheets to give him the little tactical symbol there, and the Thousand Sun symbol, of course. The head is an Ashian pattern helmet. I really like that look the most out of Forge World's Power Armored heads for them. The little eye symbol there, you could say it's the Eye of Ra, or whatever you want to in terms of real life stuff, quote unquote, is the two little black lines there are actually molded detail I took a micro pen to. It's hard to see the eye lenses, but they're blue. I just like doing them in blue. Other than that, pretty standard fare. Soft armor parts are done in lead belcher with a black wash over it. Carefully picked out the details in gold that I wanted to. I did the weapon similar to how the Ashian pattern example models are shown, where it's white for the weapon itself, but instead of doing kind of the brass gold-esque effect they did on the weapon that looked very similar to the gold on the armor, I decided to go different and I went with the copper effect. I wanted to go for a pure, freshly kept copper as opposed to a tarnished copper. So I washed it with a brown to kind of just get shading going on without it looking tarnished. So that's why it looks kind of pristine, as that's what I was going for. And other than that, not much else to say on the model. Once you actually sit down and paint this effect, this style of painting with Tamiya Clear Red or Tamiya Clear, whatever color that you want to use of theirs, it goes pretty swiftly. The prep time is good, it's not too long. Tamiya Clear Red, what you have to do is really let it dry fully. Once you think it's dry, let it sit an hour or two more. And then hit it with, even if you want it to be a shiny finish, hit it with a varnish. It is kind of soft even when it's dry and fully done, and can peel or flake off if you are a little bit too vigorous with handling or brushing over it. So varnish it as soon as you can and be gentle, I guess. Anyways, the base was a lot of fun to do. I was going for kind of I used actually a gray texture paint for the base. Then I did a dry brush of a lighter gray over it, hit it with an Earthshade wash, and then I went over that with the dry brush version of Bleach Bone, or whatever it is called now. Whatever the dry brush version of that is what I hit it with, and I'm pleased with the effect. And yeah, I'm gonna do this for my Thousand Suns, this style of basing. Maybe adding some blown up stuff or some rubble amongst it, but this is the effect I'm going for. So I wanted to give a little bit of an update on the model. It's been a while since I've done one, and really looking forward to doing more in this style. What else can I say here? I am working on a Dark Angel powered armor guy. I was working at the same time as this. I haven't done much with that. I just wanted to say I was working on a different model at the same time. So I might work on that a little bit while working on the next Thousand Sun and so on and so forth. It's kind of there to be the model that I work on when I'm waiting for certain drying times for this, or if I just want to take a break from doing this so I don't get fed up or get annoyed if something's not working out quite the way I expected, which doesn't really happen. It's more of the fact that I need a change of pace, so I change it up and I work on a different model for a little bit. But pretty pleased with the result. So with that said, as part of the hobby update, I want to kind of go over something from Forge World. This is Thousand Suns Sekhmet Terminator Cabal, the box that you get when you order it. I ordered 2 of these, and I actually started building one of them, so I'm going to show you the contents, but you can see some stuff missing if you're paying close attention. And I'm not going to be showing the bases. They're just Terminator bases that I didn't, that I already have out somewhere else. So they're just plain blank bases, no big deal. So you get, which has been a what's it called, PDF for a while. You get a guide to building resin model kits that is checked by that. It just goes over the tools, the glues, and how to work with the with glues and modeling putties, and how to deal with resin, and how to assemble them, warp parts, and how to deal with it. And it's just a nice little thing to have. It's cool that it comes part of the kit, but that was a PDF thing for a while. You also get a little color instruction booklet for building your Sekhmet Terminator Cabal, also known as the Scarab Occult. My favorite Terminators from the pre-heresy time period, just super cool, dripping with awesome imagery and capability and fluff. They're named after an ancient Egyptian goddess, Sekhmet, which is just randomly cool stuff. Also known as, like I said, the Scarab Occult. It gives you a rundown of the Forge World content you get, the upgraded bits basically, and then how to assemble it, which I thought was pretty cool. And then another picture on the back for inspiration and for reference. So really neat to see this. Wasn't expecting that. They've upped their game a bit, I'll give them that for sure. Then you get the plastic Cataphractii Terminator kit. These bits are specifically Cataphractii for the upgrade bits you get, so you're gonna have to use the Cataphractii kit. Even if you somehow got the bits by itself, you're gonna need to use this kit. It's a good kit. You can see some pieces missing as I started to build. A lot of really nice bits here. My one complaint with the Cataphractii kit in general is that you only get a heavy flamer. You don't get an autocannon or anything like that, so you have to go to Forge World to get it. You only get one in the Cataphractii bits. Upgrade bits packs, so you have to kind of find a bit place online that sells them or something. But yeah, you only get the heavy flamer. Really hoping to get the autocannon as well. Now for the Sekhmet, when you're building it Forge World rule style, they can't use heavy weapons from my understanding. And I say that by what I've seen printed in Book 7. I don't know if the Red Book will eventually fix that, because Red Books tend to be the most up-to-date print. But as it stands, they just have their combat bolters and their force weapon. Not a big deal for building it in the 30k sense, but I'll come back to that in a moment. So what you get here is the resin bits. You get 5 Kopeshes, 5 torsos, and 5 of the arm bits for the Kopeshes to attach to. And they're really cool detail, they're really nice. Like I said, I used 1 of everything in here so far, so there's only 4 shown in this bag. But yes, your Forge World stuff is still in a bag, it just comes in a box. So there you go. So really looking forward to building these guys. In fact, the Sekhmet Terminator is going to be my next Thousand Sons model. And because I have a plan, so let me put my stuff there. And actually kind of, if you look at it in comparison, they have a better sheen to theirs, but not too far off, I feel. Yes, this picture to a real model, but looking pretty good if I do say so myself. Anyways, I have a plan for these guys. I do want to collect towards the Horus Heresy rule set from Forge World, and that'll be a comprehensive build and so on and so forth. But for 40k, my plan is to build predominantly Terminators. Once, for example, the Thousand Sons Praetor model comes out, which is a Terminator model, looks like, which looks really cool. I'll be getting that to lead the force. And assuming I can build a Terminator heavy / exclusive force from Grey Knight still, you could do that back in 7th edition with their codex. Assuming that's still a possibility, that's how I want to run them. As a result, I want to run a Psy Cannon in the squads, because I like that weapon. I think it's a good weapon to have in the Terminators. So my choices are to get an autocannon bit, put it in there, and either magnetize that arm or make it just be a lost model, meaning not used in Forge World rule set. I don't know. I haven't figured out how far I want to go with that yet, but since you can take one of those weapons per squad, basically in Grey Knight Terminator squads, and I want to do a count sets version using the Sekhmet, that would require me to figure out how to represent a Psy Cannon, basically. So that's why I brought it up specifically. The Sekhmet and Forge World's rule set don't use heavy weapons. But, you know, it is what it is, and I'm not too worried about it. It'll be fun either way. Anyways, that's my long-winded update. Thousand Sons test model. I will be doing more Power Armored dudes for sure. And with that said, that's really it here. So thanks for sticking through it. It's a bit long-winded, like I said. But any question, comments, or requests, put it in the comments section. And like I said, I'm really pleased with how this guy looks. I'm by no means a pro painter at all, but this looks like I put more of an effort in than I did, to be quite honest. So I'm happy with that for sure. Anyways, that's it. So until the next one, take it easy.